The Japanese resort market has long been a priority for BC Wood members and has seen a great resurgence with the increase of inbound tourists prior to COVID. Australians discovered Japan's beautiful landscapes, and more importantly endless powder, which brought in skiers from around the world. Unfortunately, poor decisions made during the 1980s bubble era have left behind a glut of questionable facilities, as well as a lack of a comprehensive vision for how to build for the new clientele. BC Wood recognized an opportunity to deliver technical training seminars to teach how BC built world-class all-season resorts that use wood to both improve the customer experience and mitigate environmental issues. For 2023, BC Wood turned to two leaders in mass timber construction, Robert Malchuk and John Hemsworth, to speak on these topics within the context of the current Japanese situation. In the lead-up to our March seminars, we held one in conjunction with the Hokkaido show in Tokyo. The show organizer recruited attendees for us, helping us to both develop new industry contacts while also promoting our two main training sessions that were to follow. For the first of our main seminars, we chose the famous ski destination Hakuba in Nagano Prefecture, which was one of the sites for the 1998 Winter Olympics. Hakuba Village has been very grateful that we have provided them with an opportunity to learn from Canada about how they can plan their future developments. The village office allowed us to use Wing 21, which was a media center and training facility during the Olympics. Wing 21's first-class facilities made it a great venue to deliver a hybrid event so that we could reach architects, developers, and government agencies, both in person in the heart of the Nagano resort area, as well as across Japan via the Zoom webinar platform. This was actually the first time since the start of COVID that we were able to have our speakers come to Japan and present in person. As always, BC Wood received tremendous support from the Canadian and BC governments, with the embassy even joining to speak about forestry practices. Japanese industry associations that we work with once again eagerly promoted these high-value events to their memberships. Combined with our own outreach and promotions to our client database, we had a tremendous response with over 170 participants. The next stop was Niseko in Hokkaido. It is a resort that captured the hearts of powder hounds around the world and now, as a result, is the site of a massive redevelopment to build the Whistler of Asia. We held our in-person only training session for local developers at the Hilton Niseko Village, which is the cornerstone of one of the area's largest redevelopment plans. Our aim in Niseko was to deliver an intimate session where the developers could also have one-on-one time with our speakers. This was greatly appreciated by the mainly English-speaking audience, as they had many questions about incorporating wood into their projects.
Focused on sustainability, but also on working with communities. We believe that real sustainability happens when people feel a connection with the buildings that they're using.
As an engineer and also as a developer.
2つのポイント視点から今日はお話をさせていただきたいと思います。
Jim, the issue how Niseko is similar to Whistler, it's definitely a same feel. Living part-time in Whistler and visiting here, I actually think it's a Whistler in the making. So the first investment of high net worth individuals in these beautiful houses that we saw yesterday, the hotels, the ski hill, this perception that this is a wonderful place to look for powder, it will definitely develop with the new Shinkansen line, with a new road. It will just get better and better. So therefore, there is an incredible potential for mass timber. The several local guys just said that exposed wood would fit really nicely with the mountain culture. And they actually said that that's what's missing.
Having to see people in person was really exciting again after 3 years of kind of being on screens. And it was a very kind of interesting group of people that were here that seemed to have, I think the first part of seeing any sort of sustainable change is interest and curiosity, and there was definitely that from a whole bunch of different groups today, like people talking about it from a kind of development point of view, other people talking about a personal point of view, and then from an education point of view. So I think that ultimately, if that's the kind of seed that then kind of grows into kind of more interests and more opportunities, it would be fascinating to see a kind of demonstration project be able to kind of tie all these things together, because I think that's really one of the big kind of moments that can actually start the whole process kind of going, is when people can actually see it for real and see it in their own context. And would be
These early adopters were here today, and they were asking very real questions: how we can get this stuff, how we can get it approved, and what would you see as a process. So yeah, absolutely, this is Whistler in the making.
After another successful series, the BC with Japan office will continue our dialogue with the participants, offering further support as they require on future projects. Based on the feedback, we feel that we were able to inspire some of them to try wood, so we hope that we have contributed to a more wood-friendly perspective within the Japanese resort development community.